Hi everyone, David here from Mortgage Choice. Well, the RBA have increased rates again by 25 basis points. This brings the cash rate to an official 3.6%. What that means for you is that your comparable home loan rate will likely sit around 5 to 5.25%. If it's higher than that, which it very well could be, depending on your balance and your loan to value ratio, maybe we need to consider a fixed rate for the next year or so. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that later on in the video. But first off, some good news. We saw the peak of the inflation rate recently. That was sitting just over 7%, and it's starting to come back down. That's what we want to see, but the RBA is going to continue to hit hard until that drops back down to where we want it, around that 3% mark. And that's why we're likely, unfortunately, going to see some more rate rises between now and September, October, somewhere later on in the year, which means that there's going to be higher repayments coming our way. And that's why a fixed rate might be a good option if your current rate is sitting higher than that 5 to 5.5% mark, and you're really struggling to keep up with the repayments. A lot of clients might not be at a comparable rate because their loan to value ratio might be quite high, might be over 80%. They might owe more than 80% of their property's worth, and therefore the bank doesn't give them a great rate. The other catch with that is that it doesn't really allow them to move lenders, because if we move lenders, you'll pay mortgage insurance all over again. It's not worthwhile. So a fixed rate might be one of those things that we need to consider just to bide our time and get through these next few months or 12 months while rates continue to rise and as they start to come back down towards the end of the year and early next year. So I do urge you to reach out to us if you're struggling with repayments, or if you are starting to struggle. Please give us a call and we'll run through what options we have, if that is moving lenders or if it is just fixing in for a year or so while we get through these tough times. Unemployment rates are still at a record low, which is fantastic to see. And we are starting to see wage increases across the board as well, which is fantastic news. So that's definitely needed, as we all know. So not all bad news. As I said, inflation has peaked, or it's hopefully peaked right now, and we've started to see that decrease, which is fantastic. That's what we want to see. But we've got to keep hitting that hard, and that's what the RBA will do to bring it back down to that goal of about 3%. We're currently sitting just below 7%. So got a long way to go, and these rate rises are the plan of attack for the RBA. So we'll keep seeing them for a few more months. Hopefully the inflation rate will continue to drop as hoped, and that's when we can see the decrease in interest rates coming our way, but it won't be for a little while. So we'll monitor it. As I said, please reach out if you are struggling or if these rate rises are starting to impact you, then we can look at a fixed rate. The last thing I wanted to touch on today is the expiration of current fixed loans. There are so many clients that are still on a fixed rate from a year or 2 or 3 years ago, and their repayments are going to increase drastically when the fixed rate expires. Over the next 3 months in particular, there are about 30% of all mortgages in the country that are coming off some form of fixed rate. So it's going to be huge in terms of what happens to the households of Australia and where these rate rises are really going to start to impact the economy, when all of those mortgages come off of a low 2 to 3% fixed rate into a 5, maybe even a 6% rate, and clients and families are going to struggle. So if you're in that position, if your fixed rate is about to expire, please reach out to us and we'll find out what we can do either now or in preparation for the expiration of that fixed rate. As always, we'll be in touch, but please reach out to us if you do have any questions. Last thing I'm going to put out there is that for those looking to enter the market, especially first home buyers, we are going to be holding another webinar to discuss how that looks, where you might find a bargain or what to look out for over the next few months. We don't want to be opportunistic in that sense where you pluck from others' misfortune, but there are definitely people out there that need to sell their properties, especially investment properties that they just can't hold on to for much longer. And that might be a great way for a first home buyer to enter the market. We'll be holding that on the 8th of March, so Wednesday. If you can make it, please attend. There's going to be some great information there, especially if you are looking to purchase over the next few months. As always, we'll be in touch, but please reach out by giving us a call in the office or booking a meeting. And I look forward to speaking with you soon.